Which side? All right.
Okay, come. So look,
yes.
Let's go.
So hello everyone. We are here with the Grandmaster Jiang Yu Shan. He's a ninth dan in the Chinese martial arts, Chinese Kung Fu. He has a special forces background. He's been the instructor for the Special Service Company of Taiwan for over a decade. He has experiences multiple fighting competitions. Basically, he's just like an encyclopedia of Chinese Kung Fu, but also knows a lot about other combat styles as well, and fighting in general, and self-defense. Knows about Chinese medicine and stuff. And simply, as you already know, we have made some courses with him. And just very recently, we put out a new course, which was the internal and external Kung Fu. And I think like this course had so much also, again, content inside of this course, which for some people may be, some familiar names there, but for many people who maybe are not so much even into Kung Fu, don't know much about it. And I think in general for people, it will be very interesting to hear just a little more about the contents, like what are they about? What is the sort of background there? What is the history? What are the benefits? And especially for those people who already are even in the course, because there are people, and we got a great feedback about it, just saying that it's one of the best Kung Fu courses out there. And also those who are maybe thinking to get inside the course, it will be very interesting to hear a little more details about what do we offer in this course. And firstly, it's divided in two different sections. We have the internal Kung Fu, and then we have the external Kung Fu. And I think probably in the internal Kung Fu, the most sort of striking thing is the Shiniba, or as you say, the monkey Shiniba. And this also, like, maybe we can just start to talk about, like, what is even Shiniba? What makes it internal? What does it mean to have internal Kung Fu anyway?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for your introduction. As all people already heard about, that I had experience in the military background and also in some competition background, and also as a bodyguard background. So, because last time I was already, I'm sorry that I mentioned about this, I was strolling through the YouTube, and I was seeing some people they opening YouTube clips from renowned masters. They are for example, in the martial art, very well known. For example, Tai Chi masters or foreigners, yeah, and they claim they are the fake martial artist. Okay, fake martial artist and real martial artist. We have a lot, okay, but recently people in the YouTube, they also show off the people who are fake. Okay, they call that bullshit martial art.
It's bullshit, and just like exposing, basically.
Okay. And to be a martial artist, this is always the scary part when you come out into the media. This is in my case what I already what I do. No? I reveal myself much more, who I am, what kind of background I have, and all these kind of things. Yeah, but people need to know the real background from each martial artist, and not only think about and then opening and publishing videos from well-known masters and say they are fake martial artists. Okay, because now everybody can be, I would say, somebody say something like this. For example, Mike Tyson say, the internet give everyone the chance to open their mouth very big without getting punched in the face, okay? Because this is now how we live in. This is one thing. I only want to say out because we need to really be aware of fake martial artists and real martial artists, because people, when they see when I move and when I do these movements, I already changed my martial art to a different approach. The martial art, what I practice and also what I advise to practice for other people, is really the hardcore stuff where you know how to kick somebody, box, use the elbow, headbutts, even biting is considered as a weapon in a confrontation, but we don't do this zombie style around. We don't want to do that. But actually, you need to be very well versed in all the martial art techniques, what the martial arts society and the world have to offer.
Yeah, it feels like sometimes people, you know, they take like one thing, just like one thing that they see you doing, and they think like that's all there is, and without really seeing like how much you actually know, and very, very practical stuff. Because like if you're in the special forces or something, like it needs to work actually. Like, it needs to be effective, so it can't be some woo woo stuff. So is quite dumb to judge based on some things that people even don't know what is the idea behind it. This is, I think, one of the things in Shinip also, that it's not really what it looks like the outside. The practicality is not something that's so obvious for other people.
Okay. Yeah, people, when they want to see somebody, you know, they want to see somebody challenging the fake martial artist, the Tai Chi masters, the Bagua masters, the Wing Chun guys. Like this Chinese person, Mr. Xu Xiaodong, what he did, he only challenged the fake guys. Okay, the real martial artist, he know where they are, and he already take their information and see their reputation. So he doesn't challenge these guys. Okay, only the fake guys. They're proclaiming they have this and that and this. You know, I was fighting when I was young, and actually they didn't do anything. Okay, he is only challenging these guys. Okay. And people, they always ask, does this Kung Fu work with Xu Xiaodong's Kung Fu and UFC? They always compare. But I must really say something. It is, I had these ideas, what Mr. Xu Xiaodong, did, you know, challenging guys. I had these ideas 20 years ago when I was here in Asia. I was already equipped with some martial art, Thai boxing, kickboxing, you know, wrestling, and I had these ideas. And I didn't challenge martial artists because if you are in Asia, you are a foreigner, and you approach Asian people in that way, you're very fast make a ton of enemies.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And nobody like you. You're a foreigner and you bully Taiwanese, for example. You come to Taiwan and bully Taiwanese. What do you want here in this country? Leave that immediately. Okay, because you're a foreigner. I was considering about that. I say, okay, so I don't want to do that. I did some challenge fights because people, they are coming into my place. But I never go to somebody's place because that is not polite. And also the consequences. As a foreigner, you go to somewhere because he's a fake one. We say he's a fake martial artist, and you beat him up. Even you are right. The Asians, they will take the opposite. I will say they will fight you with words and with news and all these kind of things, because you are a foreigner living in Taiwan, and then they say you come only here to bully the Taiwanese.
Yeah, I
if
think
you're
like,
right, wrong, it doesn't matter.
They even got mad for the Xu Xiaodong. I mean, even he is in trouble because in China they were like, you shouldn't, you know, give a bad name to our martial arts. So it's like
it is still sorry that I enter. It is still different because he is Asian. And he challenged the Asian masters. So this is still a different thing, that if a foreigner comes and say, hey, you bad, look at you,
you would definitely get into trouble.
Totally different thing. Is a totally different thing. And of course, if somebody challenge me here, very welcome. There is somebody, he wants to beat me, and there is somebody I can beat up too. Okay, that is sometimes because if you train so hard, you know, you can't give everything always to your students and something, or you need to wait for the next competition, maybe, or every 2 years you have the world championships, or the 4 years, I don't know. Okay, you need to wait. Okay, and if somebody comes, very welcome. I'm happy for that. That was when I was young. Now I'm a little bit older, you know, I'm 50 years old.
For me, it's like always like, you know, because many of these people don't have any experience, so you still have this out there, and I think it makes a big difference, because it's not, then you can also, and like you said, you have tested some of the market techniques, you have tested different martial arts in these competitions actually to see what they're about, and so there's multiple things that you can actually draw on, like as a reference to your own martial arts. So basically what is also in the course, in the new course that we have made, like the different techniques that are there as well.
So I will say what we offer and what is a little bit different is, of course, we offer the health part that is important, you know, and we offer also the breathing part, you know, the movements, the movement part, you know. We have the external martial art where we really start for the beginners. It's actually beginners martial art, you know, where they can learn traditional hand techniques, you know, some elbow techniques, some knee techniques, even some grabbing techniques, you know, actually only stand-up striking, you know, because a fight doesn't start on the floor where you rub your butt on the floor and want to grapple somebody. It will always, what we see when we see the Abu Dhabi competition, they always, somebody even do the headstand and try to attack the person, the opponent with a headstand. You do that on the street, you get kicked and you're done, you know, or you get bombed into the on the crutch, or if you do a handstand and want to approach somebody like that, okay, or rubbing, you know, scootering, in the sitting position only to grab the leg, do the joint manipulation on the knee, you know, the heel hooks and all this kind of, which now very fashion. Now everybody do the heel hooks. Okay,
all the leg locks.
But the fighting actually always start from the stand up. We should always know that. Okay, and from the stand up, we already approach the external martial art, you know, where we do the warrior steps for the beginners, and I think that is quite good. You know?
Very straightforward.
Sort of stuff. Very easy and consequent. You know, actually, this is the beginner martial art. After that, we immediately did already some, I would say, a little bit advanced internal martial art.
Oh yes.
Okay. Because internal martial art have also many different aspects, okay, and different styles, and we choose the Shin Iba.
Exactly. But so what does it mean, like, because the internal also, like, because although we have also striking there and stuff, but like, what does it mean that internal in it? Internal inside the body, or
Internal actually means that you have all the fundamental aspects inside. You have relaxation, you have calmness, you have concentration, you have breathing exercises, you have qi circulation, we have calm sitting, what people call meditation inside. You have body movement, what we call as shenfa, the way of the body, how he should move. We have also bufa, the way of the steppings. So we have stances and movements and steppings. And we also have sofa, we have hand patterns. These three aspects, I repeat again, we have shenfa, which is body. We have bufa, which is the footwork, and we have sofa, which are the hand method. And of course, we have breathing and coordination drills. So we have actually quite a lot of things inside. We have also we also have the small application part inside. So that is actually what internal martial art is for. I repeat again, we have relaxation, calmness, and concentration. Okay, we have breathing exercises and developments. We have circulating and experiencing what is the energy, bioelectricity, qi, and we have meditation, where we also have some, I will say, relaxation, calmness, calm yourself down, and also visualization. And we have also these kind of hand techniques, foot techniques, and body movements. And that is actually what these are the principles of the internal martial art.
So a lot of it is about this certain like a how to say, like foundation, or like a sort of like a background state or a base behind the fighting. Yeah, exactly, like fundamentals of your body. Like you really focus on the body purely, and this is really, I think, what most people don't understand always is that this is where it really the external, the heart also gets much stronger when you know the relaxation to really be super tense and strong requires you to also be able to relax.
Yeah, we call this mind exercising skill.
Mind exercising, yeah.
Mind exercising, because body, mind, and soul need to be in harmony. Okay, and we use these kind of martial art techniques and martial art ways, in a style which called Xini, heart and mind. Xin means heart and Yi means mind. Fist, Xin Yi fist. Okay. Sometimes we say also this is our emotional mind, or EQ, and this is our IQ. This is the same meaning between EQ and IQ, okay? And this should be in harmony, okay? And our martial art method comes from an ancient style, okay? And what we are doing is not only one style, these are combinations. They become one style. Combinations of old martial styles, they become now the Trinity system. That is the Xini style we have now. And when we talk about Xini, heart and mind style, that is actually the ancient fist of Xini Quan. Ancient fist means Gu Quan. Gu means antique, and Quan means fist. And we have actually very old fist techniques in the Shiniba inside. These are the fundamentals for the new development and new areas of Xingyiquan. I will explain like that. We have the Shaolin Temple and also the Taoistic sects. Okay, we have a lot in Asia in all times. No? These are the academies where also martial art were practiced and developed. These are the academies where also outsiders, generals, martial art practitioners came and joined these kind of academies to enrich the Shaolin Temple and enriching the Wudang places, with their martial art, what they developed through their family styles. Okay, because everyone say every Kung Fu style comes from Shaolin or comes from Wudang. Okay. Yeah, but there are still some people, they also figure something out, okay? Or even they came from another country. Maybe they came from India, maybe they came from Sumeria, from Greek, from Egypt. They all have fighting patterns, even Persia, They all have martial art, okay? And maybe they enrich in also the very famous academy, what I call Shaolin Temple.
Yeah, okay. Shaolin Academy.
the universities, I say the big universities for martial art. And you can see that already in the Shaolin temples. They have these paintings. There are people with black skin, white skin, long nose, no nose, full bush of hairs. Of course, he is balded, but there are so many different kind of nations when you see clearly on the fresco on the Shaolin Temple, that you will see this is actually a multi-culti university. Okay, and everyone have his distribution to the martial art. And of course, through all these kind of, we will say, 1,000 years, they figure out how to fight very well, and they made a science of that. And some of these kind of treasures was, for example, in the Wudang, the Tai Chi, in the Shaolin, the Xini. Okay, we call that Xiniba. So we have Shaolin Xiniba, and
Why is
from
it
Shaolin.
what is became Shiniba and not Shinichuan? What is the
Okay, in Chinese we also have Ba means sozi ba. This means hand.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So Shini
yeah,
hand.
yeah.
Not this.
Xini hand. It means only as a hand form, hand pattern, because Chun means always fist, is a closed
Yes.
fist, and hand can be open and closed. Okay,
Aha, so it can be both.
yeah, okay. And the bar, if you want to give somebody a slap, this called Ba Zhang. You give somebody one hand, one slap. Okay,
Yeah.
that is also in the Chinese term. But the bar and the hand, one is fist, one is hand. I would say like that. Very
I
easy.
understand.
Okay,
Very easy. Yeah.
and from Shaolin, from the Shaolin temple, there are always some people they graduate and they went out of Shaolin. Okay, or they even the masters they let the Shaolin disciples go out to the public, serve the military, for example. Okay,
Yeah.
be a high rank official. Okay, for example, because in ancient time, I will say the religions they always had some influence, yeah, into the government. Okay, the cleros, I would say the cleros in Europe also had always the influence for each king, because you're a king, but there's the Pope, and everybody listened to, okay, need to
Yeah.
listen to the Pope, okay, and he is the highest. And in ancient
Yeah.
times, it's kind of the same, okay, the religions they are there, and the kings and I don't know lords they need to listen what the cleros say. Okay, yeah, that is in ancient time, and from the Shaolin Shiniba, it went to normally people, not to normal martial artists, and we have someone who called Ji Longfeng or Ji Ji Ke, yeah, where they say this master he developed his Xingyi Kung Fu from the spear fighting, spear techniques.
Ah.
Okay, when you see this and you listen about that, then you immediately know only the real warlords, I will say, generals. They were carrying halberds, spear, swords, That is actually a military weapon where you can
Yeah.
fight multiple attackers, not only one. With the spear in ancient time, you can fight multiple attackers. Yeah. And that means the Ji Longfeng was actually also a quite military martial artist. Okay, and he also the legend says he found a manual in the temple from a very famous general from the Song Dynasty, Yue Fei.
Oh,
Yue Fei.
the
Yue Fei. Yue Fei. I only say legend because nobody knows.
legendary.
In Yue Fei is actually also, he was not only a military high-ranked officer, he also learned when he was young, yeah, he learned Shaolin Kung Fu from his teacher outside of Shaolin. You don't need to be in the temple, okay? He learned archery, riding horses, and also weapon different kinds. And he learned some martial art from his old master, okay? And yeah, this is actually how this Qi Longfeng said he find the manual from him, okay, in the temple. And from that, he developed the Xingyi Quan or the Xingyi Ba. And the Xingyi actually was and still is the highest level in the Shaolin temple.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
because you need to see when you already have, because it's heart and mind combined in
All
Kung
right.
Fu. Yeah, where actually people, when they're elder, they don't want to fight. They only use their mind,
Like
heart. They want to
internal
come
means like internal is higher state usually always. Like you said, you start the basic the hard forms, but then it's all about that
it's only
refinement.
internal mind, and with mind and heart combined together, that's only when you're in a totally harmony with yourself, and with also a conscious mind, okay? And it will have effect also on your complete body system, no? That maybe you can get old also, no? Okay? But this we still need to figure out, okay? So you have in Shaolin Temple, you have the Shiniba, and you have in the Wudang Mountain, the Tai Chi. They're equal, actually. They all have the same. The last technique is actually use your mind, don't use brute force. This is called Yong Yi, Bu Yong Li. Okay, use your mind, don't use brute force. Well, that is one very important principle. What you have in Tai Chi and what you have in Xini, because Yi is mind, okay, and they say use your mind, don't use brute force. That means you will have a better coordination and control of your mind to lead energy, qi, into your limbs and let the body move. So you need to have mind to lead or conduct energy to move your body. Okay, that is actually how it works.
Higher principle.
Yeah, that is actually what we want, no? And from what I said, from the Shaolin Xiniba, it went to Ji Longfeng, you know, and from Ji Longfeng, the person who found the manual, he taught two different kind of masters, and we would say two. One was an official in the government, Cao Jiu, and one was an I would say a Muslim minority master, Ma Xueli. So it goes to two directions. Okay, one master is here on the top, and he teach two students, and it was splitting. One goes to the Huizhu, to the Muslim minority, and they develop their own Xini Kung Fu.
What was the other one?
One goes to the normally Han people, to the Chinese. You see, it was all, the Muslims are also Chinese, but they are the minorities. They don't, they have their Muslim Kung Fu, I will say, okay? And from Cao Jiu, it goes downward to a family which called Dai family, okay? And the Dai family, they were actually Tang Lang practitioners, praying mantis practitioners. The Dai family
got the Muslim Shiniba.
No. They are the normally Chinese.
From the normal, the Han.
Okay. Yeah, Han. The Cao Jiu, he taught Dai Longbang, and Dai Longbang, he already had a kind of Kung Fu style, which is Tang Lang Quan, praying mantis, and they learned the Kung Fu from Li Zhen, another kind of master. So I would say like this: the Dai family is a very rich family, because they were into the caravan escorts, so bodyguard escorts for the Silk Road. Okay, they were into that business. They make tradings, and they also have their own bodyguard office in their trading business. So they make trading business from China, from the Sanxi to the Silk Road, and also selling tea, selling silk, selling, I don't know, whatever, selling and import and export, I would say, import and export company. And in their company, they had a bodyguard office, and they already know the praying mantis style very well, Tang Lang Quan. They learned additionally the Xiniba from Cao Jiu, and they got the internal principles from the Xiniba and combined that with their praying mantis Kung Fu style together. Okay,
all right,
because there is a very important slogan or saying, what we say in the martial art world: the principles you can't change, The form is changeable. The principles of all Kung Fu styles, if you inherit one Kung Fu style, they have certain principles. These principles they need to be aware of, need to keep. But the styles, you can change. If you know the push-up, this is the principle. And then you have the variation of the push-up.
Yeah, exactly. You can do so many.
For example, no? And this is how martial art Kung Fu styles, how they developed. Okay. Yeah. And from this Dai Long Bang style, I go further now. They have this family style. They call this Dai family style. Okay. Dai Shi Qin Yi Quan. Okay. The Dai family style, there was only in the family. Outsiders were not allowed to learn that. Okay. And one day there was a Kung Fu master. His name was Li Luneng. Li Luneng. He was actually a farmer, and he had, because the Dai family was very famous, and also everybody knows they have some super skill, their martial art is high developed, and this master Li Luneng was a Shaolin practitioner. Okay, so he went to the Shanxi province and asked for guidance and asked for become a disciple for the Dai family. But nobody wanted to teach him. So he offered, because he's a farmer, he offered vegetables for free for several years for free. He was providing the big Dai family with vegetables weekly, a ton of vegetables. So the Dai family
ask anything in return.
They didn't ask, and he wanted to learn, he wanted to become a disciple. So he gave them, okay, I give you here, I provide the complete family, and the family was big. Okay, you know, you're a rich family in ancient China. I tell you, you have property, and you have not only one child, you have not only one wife. If you're rich, you have one wife, two wives, three wives. I don't know. They also have a lot of women, you know, and they have a lot of children, you know. And people, they saw that this master Li Luneng trying so hard to learn something, but he couldn't. Okay, because he was outside of the family, until one day a family member of the Dai families, they had a discussion, and they come to that conclusion, because he treated the family too good, that he cannot learn directly from the Dai family, but he can have the book of the principles. Like you got the book now with the principles. Here you have the book. Actually, it's gold. What you do with that, it's up to you. So that's why we have different kind of Xing Yi Quan. One is like mind intent Xing Yi, and one is heart and mind. We have the heart and mind, which is the original one, and Li Luneng changed it into mind intent martial art, mind intent Xing Yi Quan. The characters in Chinese is totally different. Okay, one is Xin Yi Quan or Xin Yi Ba, and one is Xing Yi Quan. Xing Yi, yeah, it's totally different. Okay, because we as foreigners, we only can use the pinyin writing, then we can see the difference. But actually, when you see the two different characters from Xin Yi and Xing Yi, it's totally different. Sounds same.
But a little bit different.
Two different things. That means that he didn't learn the real stuff from the Dai family. But he used the same sounding name to develop his own Xing Yi Quan. And the Kung Fu also totally looks different than the Dai family style.
Yeah.
Okay. That I need to say. And what is very important in the Dai family style is that their Kung Fu base, the main base, is the squatting monkey, is the Dun Ho. And they have that from the Xiniba, from the Shaolin temple. So actually what they keep is the squatting monkey, the Dunhou Shi, but they are Tangnang based, they are praying mantis based. Their forms are already a little bit different, okay, than monkey style.
Okay? Than monkey style, yeah.
The real monkey style, okay? Yeah. I only will say that. This is only by the way. So the Li Luneng changed the Kung Fu, and which looks much more like that, or looks like this, you know, or even have this. They have Santi Si inside.
Yeah.
Okay. They have Si Sao Qi inside, you know, and Ming San Jie also inside, but looks totally different than from the antique fist, because he got only the principal book.
Yeah.
And never saw the real Kung Fu from them. So his development is much more long fist oriented. Okay? Because he was a Shaolin practitioner. And this means he knows how to box very well. Okay? So they have the Heng Quan, they have the Pi Quan, you know, they have the Duan Quan, where it looks like that. Okay. And also the Pao Quan. It's totally different than what the Dai family, the Pao Quan, the cannon fist looks like this, but in the different Qingyi Quan, it looks like that. So that is only that you can theory only from that
completely. Completely
totally
different.
Because okay, when I say Pao Quan, this is Dai Shi, they do like this, or even they open the hand like that, and they hammer like this. And Pao Quan is the same fire element fist. In the Xingyi, they do like that. It's one hand to the temple and one is straight to the face, or even to the plexus. And that is actually how these two different Xingyi Quan looks like. Okay? And
so
that is
which one are we then? Or where are we in the course? Like,
we are in the course of the old frame and the old Gu Quan. We are from Shaolin Xiniba inside. And we are going also, we have the Dunhou Shi, the squatting monkey, which is the core in Xiniba. Okay. And we have the application, the self-defense application from the Muslim minority, from Ma Xueli. Okay. And my touch, which is the pure monkey style, is all inside.
So we have our Xiniba is from like three different: the Muslim, the ancient Xiniba or Xingyi Quan fist.
The Dai family.
Oh, the Dai family.
The Dai family. 5-element fist is so how it is, because the 5 elements from the Dai family, as I see it, is actually the real stuff. Yeah. From the Shaolin Xiniba. Because the 5 elements you need to have as an internal martial art practitioner. You can't omit the 5 elements. And the 5 elements, what the Dai family practice, is a method which really works. People getting old with these kind of 5-element boxing, because they figure out already the ancient masters. I will not say that the Dai family created this fist. I will not say that, okay? Yeah. Because I can be much more far away in that as my point of view. What already works for centuries, for people, they figure out this movement is good for your body, that movement is good for your liver, that movement is good for your heart. They have association with your internal organs. And these 5-element fists, how the Dai family practice, is pure gold. Yeah, I would say, because it works. It works, and it works, okay, and it is proven that it works. People, they're practicing this and this style, and they only focus on the 5 elements. They're much more fit, even when they're old, okay. So that we keep, okay, that we don't want to change. I don't want to change the 5 elements. You want to touch it just because it's so. No, because the elders, they already developed that, and they say this is the. And that works. I say, why I should change that? Exactly. If it works and it is like it developed
during thousands of years. Like, what is there to
we can
change?
say the 5 element in Shaolin Temple is 1,500 years old. And what do you think? They don't figure something out? Okay. You think they don't figure something out? They think people now in the world think they don't know what is UFC fighting. I think when you in a martial art university, you don't know that you need all requirements to fight. They even fight not against one person, no, multiple attackers, and not only that, empty hand against people with weapons in their hand, and weapons
without
and all these kind of things,
without the rule set also, like this, something to maybe talk about later. So this was the context. They didn't have MMA. They had like actual real fighting, like real fighting to death. That was kind of where these techniques came.
And actually an old Shaolin fighting monk, he have no teeth.
Yeah. Sparring.
Because of the sparring. Do you think they have had protection and everything? No, they also, I'm sorry, thank you very much. This is actually, that's why they have their rice soup.
They can't eat anything else, just like liquid
and
stuff.
They can't chew the meat because there's no teeth. They can bite. That's why, only for a joke, okay? If you have no teeth,
I get it. Only liquid stuff. They can't like have anything like chew. Chew on
that. Like drink your food and eat your and eat your drink. Okay. No, this is actually how it was. Actually, there's not and everybody know that already. Okay. It can be that 1 or 2 teeth are, I don't know, smacked out or something like that. Okay. Let me continue the little bit story of the Xinyi Kung Fu. So you can see the Li Luneng, he developed totally different Kung Fu style, much more strong, hand, fist oriented, and much more Shaolin based Xinyi Quan. Okay. And the Dai family, they keep it how it is until today.
Yeah. There's
no more development, only a little bit, some praying mantis or even 10 animals. They have 10 hands, 10 hands there, which looks much more different than the 10 hands from the Muslim wushu or Muslim martial art. Because the Muslim from Marshali, he goes to the Muslim area. He also had deep internal martial art with 10 hands and 4 hammers. How's the connection? Okay. Can you see very well or not?
Yeah. Looks very good actually. No issues. Yes.
Yeah, but I only can. Okay. I only.
Is it okay for you?
Yeah, I only sometimes you have this frozen, like the breakdance,
Yeah, I hope it doesn't affect the quality, because for me you've been all time good. So I hope we will see in the final record then.
Okay, so you see now that actually Xinyi and Xinyi is not always the same. Okay, and what we are doing in the Trinity system, what I teach, I put the monkey fist inside, and I took back this squatting monkey. What I also think it belongs to the monkey style.
Essential for the monkey style. Yeah,
you must have, and I practice this now. When I was first teaching, 2004, I was first teaching that.
2004, the squatting monkey.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I was teaching first time. I had one student. Okay, you will squat the monkey. 2004. Yeah, and before I also made my investigations and my research in other Xinyi methods. When I was 1993, 94, I already had my school where I was teaching 5-element boxing, in Berlin.
Yeah. You had only learned the 5-element back in 19 something.
Yeah, in the middle of the 90s, I already was teaching 5-element boxing.
Had you already been to Taiwan during those times, or?
I just start to travel.
You started to travel then.
Yeah, and I was also practicing and teaching the Xingyi, the long, this kind of Xingyi, you know
Even
what I
that
say,
Xingyi.
okay? Yeah,
Yeah,
that because this kind of Xingyi Quan, yeah, I say mind intent fist, it is much more popular around the world, in the Western world even.
So that's actually known. Like people sometimes like
A
know that
lot
stuff.
of people. When you talk about Xingyi Quan, everybody immediately do like this. Yes, like this. This is their Xingyi. Oh, yes. It's like, they immediately. It is like spread like Tai Chi.
So that makes sense because that makes a lot of sense because I was also trying to even search like some Shinipa from the internet and some of like the 10 hands techniques, and even though the name is similar, it looks like totally different to actually what we have in the 10 hands. So
and that is the Xingyi fist is so popular because a lot of masters were developed from that Xingyi style, from Li Luneng lineage. And they're all into the bodyguard service, bodyguard service and trading caravans, Silk Road. They're all influenced in that. And even the master, the Wang Xiangzai, yeah, he learned when he was a young boy from another student, from Li Luneng lineage, he learned the Xingyi Quan, but he only learned the standing meditation, the Santi Si, and then his master passed away. Wang Xiangzai learned when he was a young boy, the standing, only standing in that position, yeah. And then because his master Gu Yunchen was already too old to teach him. And then during his start, he adopted this young Wang Xiangzai as a student, and then the master passed away, but the master's wife was still there, and she introduced him and tell him to practice much more. Yeah. So the principal book, Wang Xiangzai was pondering and learning very well. So when Wang Xiangzai was about 14 years old, he already had a good stance. He got a very good root. He was very relaxed, and he could bounce people far away. So what you can see from the people, they do Tai Chi and something, This Wang Xiangzai, he could do that when he was already in his teenager years.
But he only learned that through the stances, like we have the Trinity stance, and
and because this is how you build the frame and the relaxation, rooting and connecting, this is actually also one main point. But it doesn't mean if you can bounce somebody away that you're a good fighter.
Yeah,
doesn't mean
exactly.
Okay, and the fighting you still need to learn. And look, from Li Luneng and Li Chunyi and Liu Qilan and Wang Xiangzai, he also, the master Wang Xiangzai, he also had his education. He became his education writing and reading from his wife. He when he was young, he married the daughter from a warlord.
Okay.
That is awesome. Because he was already martial artist. He's in the Xingyi area inside, and he's already very known as a martial artist. And a warlord hired him to be his instructor for the military. For his military group, and he liked him so much. He immediately wanted to take him into his own family. This guy is good to use. You marry my daughter. and his wife taught him how to read, because he was also unliterated, actually. Okay.
I get
it. He learned how to read. He learned how to do this, poems. He got a better education. He received his education from his wife. And during that time, because he got a good status and something, he know that his martial art was still limited, and he traveled around China to find good masters. And he met 3 of them, and all 3 Kung Fu masters were actually Shaolin Xin Yi Ba masters.
Whoa. But so he had already learned Shiniba, but just the stances, and now he
No,
found
he learned Xingyi Quan.
a Shini Chuan, but not Shiniba. Yeah.
No, not Xingyi. He learned Xingyi Quan and standing,
Okay.
you know, this, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
and he knows some Xingyi Kung Fu because he met his elder Kung Fu brothers, you know, and they learn much more, you know, and also he traveled around Asia to find Kung Fu masters, and he found 3. Okay, he learned crane Kung Fu from the Fuzhou cranes, beautiful, which developed his martial art. Yeah, and he learned Shaolin Qinyi Ba, where he learned. It's not only learn 1 or 2 months. No, he stood with one master for more than 3 years. What do you think if you live with a master together? You know, in ancient time, if you take a master, you call him Sifu, for example. Yeah, it's not like somebody give you graduation like today. You give the belt. Okay, here you're now. Now they use this. Yeah, or even okay. I don't call myself a Sifu. People calling me Shifu or Da Shi. Actually, I call myself only Mr. Jiang Yu Shan. Okay, Jiang Xianzhen. Yeah. It would be weird if I call myself, hello, I'm Sifu, I'm the Sifu Jiang. Nobody do that actually in Asia. This is ridiculous, okay? Yeah. Okay, so that's actually how it was, you know. And if you live with someone there, the Shifu, the father teacher, is totally different, than the real father, because he educates you in different kind of skill. Okay, martial arts skill. It's also different as you're going to a carpenter. A carpenter or somebody who is very well versed in, I will say, pottery, for example, he can be also a shifu because he developed his time and effort, his kung fu, in his handicraft work. This we also call shifu. For example, a person who is a designer for teacups and something, he is also a shifu.
Master,
But the Chinese character for his shifu and a kung fu shifu, 2 different characters. Sounds the same, but 2 different characters. Okay. Well, okay. That's only the difference. Yeah. And the other thing is actually the Wang Xiangzai, he learned some kung fu, Xiniba kung fu. And after all, he promoted and developed the Yi Quan. So he takes the Xin out and only make the Yi, because the mind fist. Okay. This is the mind fist. Or people even call it, the fist, or even the great accomplishment. Da Zheng Quan. Okay. Each one have 2 names, no? Great accomplishment and mind fist. Okay. And this is what he also promote. He was also challenging a lot of people, you know, and also at newspaper reports, and was also calling out so many martial artists that they don't practice anymore. Very good. He had also not only friends, also a lot of enemies, I will say. Okay, but this is only by the way. What we can see is that there is always a development from the traditional old, what I say, Shaolin Xiniba, Gu Quan, what I call antique fist, to the Dai family. They're influenced by praying mantis, to the person who was actually, he wants to learn from the Dai family, but he was a Shaolin practitioner. It's not allowed for him to learn, but he received the book of the principles. He developed a different kind of Xingyi boxing. And we have the Huizhu minority, the Muslim minority. They developed their own martial art, and their martial art emphasizes on deadly strikes. So actually, because you need to know about this. The Muslim minority, maybe they only have one holy book, the Quran, you know, the holy book from them. And they only have one for the complete minority. And yes, and the Han people, there was sometimes ambushing the mosque and try to steal their holy book. And that is also, yes. And the people who were living in the mosque, they were equipped with high-level martial art because they need to protect the book, the Quran. That's why when they have challenge fights, the Muslim against the Han people, Han is the Chinese, okay? Han Chinese. They have challenging bouts. They kill the Han people.
Because they're that's what is developed for the martial art.
Yeah, and they're not very cruel. Yeah, and they're actually very famous for the dangerous techniques. So nobody actually, I don't want to fight them.
But what do we then?
From the Muslim minority, there's also some different lineages. Yeah, for example, Master Lu Songgao. Lu Songgao is a Muslim martial art practitioner. For example, he came from the Loyang line, from the Muslim line, and run away from court because he killed someone in a fight, and they tried to catch him, and he ran away. He ran away until Shanghai. And in Shanghai, he were also, you can see when you go to Shanghai, there are a lot of Muslims there, and they learn his Xinyi Quan. Lu Shi Xinyi Quan. Okay, this is a different kind of Master Lu, or Lu Songgao. He developed the Xinyi Ba for the Shanghai people, which is actually, when you travel to Shanghai one day and you're in the morning in the park, you can see every corner there practicing Xinyi Ba. It's very, very common.
Wow.
But this kind of Xinyi Ba, when you see it, looks very static and much more like robotic style, but very effective.
Not flowing.
Yeah, no, it's like they walk like this. They have the walking style. Or even
I've seen some of that, I think.
Yeah, and very robotic. Yeah, and actually very famous in Shanghai. Actually,
what about like in our the course, the Xinyi, but like what is the muscling part in there actually like? Or
the muscling part is this.
Some of the 10 hands.
Yao Shanba.
The
first three, I would say the first three, we have the Danba, we have the Shuangba, and we have the Yao Sanba. They are very similar to the, I would say, Muslim Quan. Okay, the rest is totally different. That you can't see somewhere else. Okay, that is only I need to say.
Nowhere else. I think that's where the monkey style also comes to play, I suppose.
It's a little bit. I try as to put my point of view inside. I would say like that. Okay, and it's a minor improvement. So this is actually what we can see in the 10 hands, what we have, but movements, everyone can create. Important is what is the core inside, the principle. That is important. And the principles from, for example, the Trinity stance, okay, the monkey stance,
squatting monkey,
the root, the relaxation,
what about the 4 ends?
This calls it the Shao Qi, or Qi Se Shao. The 4 ends. These are all the deep core principles, what you can learn in our course. Okay, I try to find some books, of course, I try to find some books, but they're all very beautiful, but nobody really shows how to practice that, and we do that.
Exactly. And very detailed manner, like because I think like when you were explaining the squatting monkey or the 4 ends and everything, there were so many different points that you could, and even the names for the different principles, the different how you call the different postural things that are there. and also every single like little detail that you need to do, whether it's your mouth, your face or something. And like I can see like there sometimes you can find some glimpses somewhere of some Shinipa movements, and usually it's like very bad quality video first of all, and there's no clear, there's no clear steps to do anything. There's no clear way to practice them, and I think this is one of the things. Because if you want to really get the benefits, you need to know what you're actually doing them, because the postures and everything they're quite detailed actually and exact.
What we provide actually in our tutorial, I need to emphasize that, yeah, is that we really show something that people only teach behind doors, you know. The thing is, in Chinese martial arts society, the Chinese martial art masters, they want to share something that's good and that is nice, but they don't want to share everything. They don't want to share the behind knowledge, you know. They share the forms, and then you need to do this and you need to do that, okay? And then when they do some application, you know, my adversary is not allowed to move, I do this, and then I, you know, like this, yeah. But what is really behind there? How to develop this inner power and how to emphasize on different kind of body parts and also put the mindset inside and the attitude they don't teach. And this is what we try. That is actually what we want.
I know that for many people, the techniques are very, even for me, the techniques are interesting, but the most valuable part for me as like a personal trainer, who also just like really interested in really developing the body, just like making a strong, healthy body, the internal part and the stances and the develop the power was the biggest thing, and learning the principles actually, because like you said, the external can change, you can put your own movements there, you can, you know, so on and so on. It's nice, but the principles never change, and this is the real value, because that's where it all builds, from the power to the striking, no matter what external form you're going to use from there on. Although the external forms are also interesting and very peculiar, because you also show the fighting applications for each. That was one of the things, because if I would see those forms and not know anything about them, I would be like, I would never figure out how they actually work, like what can they do. And they're based on kind of two things. Now you show actually how to you know, strike the person, but it's also the hardening factor that's inside, because many of these strikes don't work without what you have, which is the actual weapons that are your hands, which are completely like hardened. Every single part is like concrete, like a stone or something. So
the thing is, it's not when you can see that, and because you already have some different approach, and you see me and you have my instructions, okay? You already, I would not say you're brainwashed or something, you know, but I would say you have already my instruction. You know how it looks like nearly, and how what kind of force is behind, yeah. And but people, they're practicing very long time Chinese Kung Fu. When they, what I receive now from, I receive the emails and also some messages from, okay, people, when they see how the movements are from the Trinity system, from the Shiniba, you know, they can see and read very deeply. This is actually the refining stage for a martial artist. You know how to fight. You know, we have different students. You know, they're already good at fighting. Okay, they already know they know how to street fight. They know how to do mixed martial art. They know what kind of different kind of martial art. They're already very well versed in their martial art. But when they see and when they receive our tutorial, they say that is exactly what the missing link was, what the master didn't show where they learned before. Maybe he didn't show because he doesn't want to show, because you're a foreigner. I don't teach you because you're not Chinese first.
Yes.
Or you're my family member. I don't teach you. Or the master, unfortunately, already passed away. He can't transmit all the knowledge to you. Okay. That I receive already saying, Mr. Jiang, I already, there is the missing link, what I didn't receive. Okay. And when I do some movement like that, every move actually, when I do only like this, there's already something, or even I only do this, there's already something that I can look. The hand comes in, I do like this. If I'm Wing Chun practitioner, I will do the tanso like that. But I do the monkey here, and look, I hook your arm, and that shoulder can snap the elbow, and that is only by that move, okay? And then I can go further and so and so.
Yeah.
And these are the small moves. And a person who's already into the Chinese Kung Fu for a long, long time, maybe go to Shaolin temple, become a disciple of the Shaolin monks and so on, they learn I will say the curriculum, what every Shaolin martial artist knows. They're very athletic, they're very flexible, and they're very versed in their form. Okay. But the real, they're in I will say in the basic stage, actually, a fundamental stage. Yeah. And when you want to go deeper, you become in the specializing stage where you become your favorite techniques comes out. But you still need to refine your, like that, This is,
there's a lot of
like
hidden, like the because so we can talk about Shinipa, we can talk about the stances, we can also talk about the stepping that we had there, and then we can talk about the actual like strikes and hits and fist or hand techniques. And for me, just the movements, because these are full body movements, and you're practicing this certain like a soft flowing movement with your body, constantly refining and doing it over and over again. That already also builds the body in a very surprising manner. And not just, I mean, the standings maybe had the biggest impact overall on the structure. I can feel like a certain, the routing, like you talk about, people don't even know what it means until they try it. I think this is the thing, like you need to do the stances, and then you start to feel what routing actually means inside your body, because it's rough. Like it's subtle, but it's so hardcore training that I like 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, something sometimes.
You stand 15 minutes in the monkey squat, you're done.
I can't even do that yet. It feels nearly impossible.
You know what? This is a challenge, and people, they come with, the internet. They come with challenge, Mapu challenge. Very good, Mapu challenge. Push-up challenge. Do every day 20. This is not a challenge. This is not even a breakfast. Yeah. When I do the push-up, I need to do 90. This is my daily push-ups. Yeah. 3 times 30. Okay. And they do the 20 push-ups challenge. I only care for, what is that? This is not even a challenge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do the monkey squat 15 minutes. That is fun. And you know what you have done. Yeah. When I was by myself, when I was learning and practicing, I was pushing myself 15 minutes. After that, you think I can train something after? I was smashed.
You can probably even stand, because I could nearly stand like after some 6-7 minutes. I was like, just it's all
vibration. Yeah,
vibration,
exhausted. Yeah, that is only the beginning stage. Of course, now it's then like this, like, okay, only time chilling now, because I already gained something. Yeah. But when I was learning this, I was like 5 minutes, okay, 5 minutes tough, okay, 10, 8, 15 minutes. After that, I'm done. I couldn't do anything else. Then I need to, okay, this was the morning training. Yeah. And then, okay, 15 minutes, that's it. Yeah. And I was actually cardios, from the mixed martial art programs, okay. Oh, I want to try the coolest mixed martial art program. I do the Bas Rutten workout, 28 minutes, this kind, Very good. After that, you're also done, But after you have this, it becomes a 28 minutes Bas Rutten workout, all mixed martial, all workout fighting, whatever, what is his name. And after that, you only wrap your the bandages, and then you go to the boxing bag and do the Thai boxing on the boxing bag, because you still have the power for that. But 15 minutes monkey squat, after that, you even can't walk straight. Like you even, my goodness, it's like complete body is like, it's like you just took a shower, full
literally like
wet.
done. Yeah, it's really like it's over. The workout is over. Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
this is what I say. Learning a soft style is very hard.
Yeah, and there are other stances like the Trinity stand, the Shantishi or Shantihoshi, and
the biggest what I gave you is the dragon pose.
Oh, that's true.
That is
That's
one
the
of the
toughest
king.
possible.
That is the king. You know, you practice that. You stand there for 3 minutes each side. You also know what you have done.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very good.
Okay, maybe people that don't know what we are talking about, try to find out what is that. Okay,
yeah, try to search for yourself.
If somebody is interested in what we are talking about, they should purchase the tutorial. I only would say that.
I think so too.
And I also say we put something inside that the Kung Fu masters, they don't talk about. They don't want to reveal. Yeah. For example, I had a conversation with the Kung Fu master. He's doing another style. Yeah. He say he learned with that master for 20 more years. And then the master told him he doesn't teach him because he's not Chinese. And I only can say, man, what is this?
20 years and still treat like some, I don't know, stranger.
Yeah. Yeah, like you only, this is, that is for me is that the master, maybe he is really like that, or maybe he doesn't have more to teach.
That's
And
also possible.
that was an excuse, okay? Yeah, but if you doesn't have more to teach, you can choose another excuse to, you can also say, sorry, that's it. There's nothing what I can teach you anymore. But to tell somebody, this kind of excuse is very, very racist.
I think so too.
Okay,
it's odd. It's very odd. Like,
but and you know what? The foreigners, we are like that. We learn some different kind of method. We put more inside than the natives.
True. That's also true. Like this.
And the opposite, it's also the same. When we look into the art, for example, piano players, violin players, you can see that the Asian, they put much more effort. Yeah. You have a 5, 6 years old Asian boy and he do or girl, like this, Paganini,
Yeah,
and they put much more effort, into the Western art than we Westerners do. And in the opposite, we Westerners, or I would say we, we put the effort more in style, That is it. That is it. Or even, if a Westerner, I like to wearing Chinese clothes,
Yeah, and now they call it like cultural appropriation or whatever, like just showing like respect or to the other culture. It's weird stuff. Yeah.
But if you wear Chinese clothes and walk on the street, what do you think everybody look at you? Are you nuts? Why you're wearing this costume? Because everybody is already Westernized. You need to have the clothes. What I don't understand actually.
Yeah.
Okay. I also don't understand.
Yeah, I think because we need to like look at also the like you said, you're putting more in because it's nearly automatic that you need to put more in because of the background and the perspective that you have. And like this, when we go to the external kung fu from the internal kung fu, for example, these are like techniques where we also go through the vital points and stuff like that, which is like it shows your the special forces background so well, because you show these techniques that they're sort of like some are very dirty tricks, but these are things that you can actually use if somebody's threatening your life. You need to understand the context where this happens, and some of these techniques can save your life as well. They can be like life-saving techniques if you just get into very bad situations. And we go through techniques that are not, you can actually use them in fighting, like the 8 elbows. These are elbow techniques for Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, anything. You can use them. They're very effective. You have the 10 hand techniques. There are some really odd techniques actually there, but most of them also I think they are very applicable for fighting.
The thing is that the application of the martial art depends only on your own attitude. Okay. So if you want to have a good self-defense approach, yeah, you need to know how to use your fists and your legs.
Yeah.
That's very important. Okay. When I say fist, I mean fist from here to here, elbow including. Okay. When I talk about, okay, and when I do kicks, leg techniques, I mean from the foot to the knee, you know, that is the complete leg, you know, the complete leg. That is actually when I say you need to use your hands and your feet, okay, and that is very important. That you need to know that. If you don't know that, very quick, you need to learn, because then you can protect yourself. This is the main purpose for martial art. Okay, you need to protect yourself and your beloved ones. Yeah, and you need to protect your dignity. That is also very important. You know, that nobody step on your head or humiliate you and all kind of things. You know, like bullying you in the school, for example. Yeah, these kind of things. Yeah. If you have this kind of self-defense ability, you can transform that in your daily life, that nobody actually can push you to the ground and push you to be a, you know, to I would say always put down, you know, because you develop a fighting ability, you have confidence in yourself, and this kind of confidence and aura will spread out and will be shown to the public. You don't need to walk with a king, I'm the best. No, we only a man, human being. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. You're black, white, yellow. It doesn't matter. You can learn these things. There is no race or gender for that. If you're man or woman, if you're transsexual, whatever, everybody needs to have the ability to for self-defense. Okay, and there is no gender, race, nothing where we look that down. Okay, I have a friend, I have students, they are, for example, they're also homosexual. I don't care, it's their business. Okay, yeah, I have that in my school too. I have, we call that a T, you know, I have a female, they're much more tomboy, for example. And I have also a man. Yeah, he doesn't want I make it public that he's homosexual. You know, okay, he's like, man, okay, it's okay. I need to know, okay, what he likes to have, I will say. But I treat him like all people the same, and that's important. And even if you're black, white, yellow, I don't care. Martial art in general have no gender and no racism inside.
Anyone can learn these techniques.
Yes.
And what I really like about, because this you know, complete as a human, and because the course itself is like complete, because it has this sort of fundamentals of the internal power and the mindset, and it has the techniques that you can use. But like it doesn't even end there, because there's still the hardening part, which also makes some of the techniques would be completely useless without it. So this is actually also the complete wooden element for like making actual body weapons.
That's what I said. That is the beginner class. You need to have the external martial art where you know learn the striking. And if you don't have a fist, then you're striking. You box somebody, you break your hand. You know. No, I don't want to. I don't want to teach like that. Yeah, I don't want to teach like that. I only want to give a little bit. You know. No, you have the conditioning part for your fist, your forearm, your elbow, your legs. You know. And even, look at this, we provide the method for that hardening skill. Yeah. The wood element is already when you see the Wing Chun, or when you see already the Choi Li Fat, or they have the wooden dummy. This is the highest level, you know. And this is The highest level is our basic.
But it's
So,
still a good level, but it's only it's the start, you know.
It's the wooden element. It's the basic level in the system what we have. And the Trinity system is the basic level. You can learn the wooden element. Good. And we provide the method and the medicine Ditajo, or the Yaoxi, that people they can make their own medicine in that tutorial. They can have this. What actually all the Kung Fu masters, they keep it like a treasure. No, I don't want to give that. That is also a treasure. The secret, it's not a secret anymore. That is only the way how we teach, how I teach. When I want to release thing, I want to release, and I want to give in a complete package. I don't want to omit something.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, because I also wonder if we give out something, you know, I wanted the people actually, they get something that is useful, that they can use, and they become something. Because if we just give out a part somewhere, it's like, I don't want to see people who don't really reach their potential. So like getting every single part of what you need is like, this feels good to me, because this actually, they get something. And it's otherwise.
I recently have a conversation with a Shaolin practitioner and disciple, and he said when they do in Shaolin temple, now in the Shaolin temple, what we have now, they do the palm training. They don't provide the practitioners the medicine. They only swollen arms and a little bit rubbing the hands.
In the temple.
In the temple, they don't give the medicine.
So, do they ever have it?
They have it, but they don't give it. You know, they teach something, but they omit a lot of parts.
Yeah.
So you have bruisings everywhere. They don't treat the bruisings.
You don't know how
they don't. You hear blue and here green, and you do the palm train, bam, 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 bam. First, they hit all with the same spot here, which is actually a big no-no. When you hit your acupuncture point in the heart, when you do the palm training, that is already a big mistake. First, and the second, is they don't treat their hands after the palm training or conditioning training, and that I feel what's going on with that.
It's actually very dangerous.
Yeah, even some people, they're going there, they never heard about that they need to have Chinese medicine herb after they do the conditioning. They never even heard about that thing. And in the Kung Fu society, it's the same. They even never heard about you need to have medicine for that training when you do the heart and skill. For example, the Japanese karate guys, I will ask
they
you
don't know
Korean. They harden their skill and doing all these kind of things. And when they are 60 years, or even when they reach 50, they need to put their hands in hot, warm water until they can open their hands.
Yeah,
okay.
You don't want to train that. But
look at this. You know, I can still make the finger acrobatic, you know, finger acrobatic like that.
There's some people who were like actually commenting like you will get the arthritis or something, and I was just like thinking, you know, you're already 50 years old and I've seen your hands in like
look at this. I can still play the Wudang Clan, you know, with if some rap like can still do the, you know, the OG finger techniques, you know, like
can you cross the fingers?
No, you know that, the West Side stuff. No, this is the point, you know, and they're punching, they do the iron fist, they have the knuckle very good, but when you put inside, when I put my finger and say, looks very huge, but when I got this already, I got a big hand from somewhere, you know, from the Singapore iron fist, you know, in Singapore. The student Dennis, he come to me, it's a big knuckle like that. I said, wow, looks cool. And I touch it. So yeah, you can touch it. I only do this, and internally is the injury. You know,
it's looks big.
Looks big. He can hit something. It's okay, but when you go under the ligament there, and then I press here and there, I say, wow, what's this? Yeah,
It's like
that's the injury.
inflammation
No,
already.
it's already chronic inflammation.
Yeah,
It is already, it's already with what we say, arthritis or something, you know.
yeah,
But
exactly.
they still can cure, still can become better, you know. Yeah. And Iron Fist now, after my teachings, he's still doing it because he got a medicine, you know, he know how to do that,
proper
you know.
medicine.
Yes, and that is how I bring that to the Shaolin Association to Singapore. I help him already, yeah. Okay, and what I can see from the karate, no. They first they don't have the first when you have from the Goju Ryo, you know, this higuana, yeah, the 10 dan of Goju Ryo. 30 years ago, he didn't have a big hand. He received the medicine from a Chinese master, which I already know who is that already. We already know that, yeah. Who provide him with the Ditajo medicine so that he can practice his Iron Fist. Okay. The master, when you see the very old clip from Master Higona, where he introduced Goju Ryo, he didn't have, he only do the hitting the Makibara, and he have a hand like you.
Okay.
And after he received the Ditajo and also different kind of methods how to train, yeah, he become very good
like
fist,
actually
you know,
hammer. Yeah.
and
only after
then
the
he
medicine.
do this stone hitting, you know, you do this performance, but you cannot see him breaking bricks, stones, granite plates. No, he doesn't do that. He only hit the stones.
Yeah.
Hitting the stone and breaking bricks, breaking stones, breaking granite. You need also a different kind of Kung Fu, which called Jing. How to develop and how to transmit different kind of forces. And yeah, the Jingfa. And that is also very important. Okay, so that's why I always feel, okay, very good. The karate masters, they break the ice blocks and something, but they always use the trick kind. Even when they break the baseball bat, they have prepared baseball bats, what they can buy in the martial arts shop in Tokyo.
Okay.
I went to Tokyo, the martial art. They're selling already prepared stones, stone plates, and even the baseball bats. Already you can buy that. They're for performance. And they're always not only fooling the audience, they're fooling themselves. Okay.
Certainly.
And I already also released one tutorial in my IG website, whatever. I show how to break the bricks with a trick and how to learn this with the trick. And the trick is good, but you still need to have a hard hand. If you don't have a good condition, you can break maybe one brick. But if it comes to 1, 2, 3, 4, this kind of pile of bricks, then you need a stronger hand. No, you need a stronger hand only. Yeah.
Exactly.
And use a little bit. You need you can apply the trick how to break the brick, but you need a strong hand. You need to have a conditioned hand, and then it's okay. And that's it. I provide how to do that. Yeah. And I also show without the trick how to break the brick. Okay, that is also very important. We need to know every kind of style. You need to know the tricky brick style, and you need to know how to do it without the trick. And without, then the real Kung Fu comes into play, which you will have a kind of martial ability, which called Jingfa, Fa Jing. And that Jing is only developed by external practicing, you hitting something, including internal practice. If you don't practice internally, your Jingfa also is limited.
No Qi adequate.
And this, how to develop Qi, you need to learn first the breathing. From our first tutorial, what we released, the health and fighting Qigong, you know, we cover the breathing inside. If you don't know the breathing, then all the rest of Qigong and other methods, they're useless, you know? So you need, what we release is really step by step, in a very logical way. Learn the breathing in the health and fighting Qigong. Then you have two different Qigong methods, a soft one and a hard one, where you develop your body. And the first is, you need to be hard and skilled. You need to develop the golden bell, because protection first. You protect your body first, then you can approach Kung Fu, because in Kung Fu martial art, you get used to get hit.
Yes, yes.
Somebody is hitting you, you can absorb that. You're not immediately break or your ribs and something. You learn the golden bell. That is our first approach. Learn the breathing, learn the Qigong, learn what is energy in your body, how to develop that. And then you can go further. You can learn the Lohan Gong, and also hitting the body with different kind of material, where you have the protection, not only for external impact, also for diseases, okay? Because you will develop a kind of golden bell, which
that's
helps you for
that's the whole point of the first course, to learn the basics of the breathing. You also, there's hardening, full body hardening, but there's also the softer Bagua Zhang movement to stretch out your body, to build this sort of like a introduction to Qigong, like to progress, and then fundamentals,
and then the next tutorial is the external internal martial art. You learn self-defense action, where you have also the body weapons. You develop your body weapon, you know. This is the external martial art.
Body weapons. Important. Take the internal also development further through the squatting monkey, through the Shinipa training, and
then we have the next tutorial, which we come to the higher level of Qigong, you know, and these are this is the Monkey Fist 24 set, very, very high level 30 warrior Qigong.
Something
that is already high level skill. And then we have another one, which is not released yet. It will be, I think, in the next year release, where you learn the 100 days of internal development and circulating your energy, you know, the orbit circle, the Xiao Zhou Tian, Da Zhou Tian, and when you develop the inner powers of the Qing, you know, and how to open the meridian, how to open the acupuncture points and stimulate the meridian and the vessels in the next, which will release in the future. So it is actually a systematically approach. Okay, what we doing? We if somebody learn our material, they will systematically learn how to become a high martial art.
Like expert. Really learn like skills to reach even like a certain mastery level. I think there you can find them.
How to become a master? How become a master in the martial art? You have external and internal.
And I feel like, I mean, just like maybe the last words about even the internal and external courses, that you could also like, well, you know, as I said, like you get this whole package where everything is there to you know, to actually utilize them, to have very practical knowledge for self-defense, the techniques that you can use. I think, like, of course, if you want to, like, you know, do a fighting sport or something, if this is your goal, this will help you. You're gonna need to do your own practice as such, but I have experience in, you know, I've done MMA, boxing, I've done jiu-jitsu, I've done taekwondo in my teenagers, like 4 years. I've done also multiple martial arts, and like I can find a lot of stuff that is in this course super useful. It's like the principles, of course, but also the techniques. And I learned certain movements that I wouldn't otherwise even think about. Even when I do the Shinipa stuff, and there's a certain like the principles of how to create force in the movements through the different, for example, the one-step methods and everything, and using the shouting. This is like stuff that I know it has already changed like my movements in certain martial arts, and I have a better also perception of my own body movement, and like producing and certain like kinetic change, because whether you do like very basic boxing, which is also inside the course, by the way, very basic boxing methods, there's a certain kinetic chain that you're utilizing in your body, the hips, the core, the shoulder, the scapula, the shoulder, the fist, this comes very, very handy when you're actually refining, because everyone's going to learn the basic stuff, but to really refine it and learn more and more deeply about your body movements, it's very precise, and it gives an edge compared to like many other people, I feel like, because alone, yeah, you need your own sport to do whatever is there, but utilize these principles and the power internal power development. They're useful and super valuable for nearly like anyone. And I think
what I say, okay, there may be some move that looks very strange. No, it doesn't mean you fight like that. They will give you stretches your body. They give you some ability for a normal straight punch.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
It's like straight a multiplicator. Cross will help you to become totally different. You have what you just say, your body connection. What we call that
awareness or
whole body power. How to develop your complete
whole body power.
沉浸, complete, or we call that actually in Chinese 架构, okay, or 结构 is the lining up from what each kind, from the toe to the small finger, pinky, all are connected. The connection and the linkage through all your muscles. Because actually, when you see your body, how the anatomy is, it is actually one muscle connect with another. There is only like,
it's all connected through them.
You become one muscle actually, and of course the framework what we have, that you can also lead energy which comes onto your body into the ground by only transferring the energy into the ground. What goes down also goes up, okay? And that is actually how we use a lot of principles. Yeah, I think some physics are all inside. What goes down also goes up.
Yeah. Mechanics out there.
Yeah, all is inside, okay? And you need to know what is torsional force, what is springy force, what is rooting force, Yeah, and that is actually how it works. That is the deep science in the martial art.
It's simply a great education, I think.
Yeah, and you can discover that by learning these methods. Mind exercising, self-defense, different kind of approach, Shiniba. Not everybody needs to do the Tai Chi, when they do it in the park. You can also move in a totally
the Shiniba manner. It's true. And Tai Chi, exactly. You can do the same things for your longevity as well. Like it's there. But I think that was probably it. I think it's got we went actually very deep into the history. I'm very happy because I was interested in even myself to just know more about these things that I'm actually doing and working on. It gives a certain perspective and appreciation also, just to see how deep they really go to the Shaolin and even further.
What we see is that we approach the monkey fist, the Shiniba. What we didn't do is the Tai Chi. And maybe one day we will approach that too. Okay?
Yeah, full Trinity system.
Then you will know, okay, there is really much more to learn. Okay, that is, but we will see in the future.
For now, you have a lot to practice. Yes, thank you for joining this call. It was a pleasure, and I hope we will talk again soon. Yes.
Okay. Bye.